As many people know, on December 1st, I officially was no longer a part of Ring of Fire, the political commentary program that I have been with since August of 2004. It was a very difficult thing for me to do. I put out, a video over there on, I believe it went up November 30th, saying this was my last video. And I explained, what was going on, why I was leaving. But apparently people didn't believe it. And they think that I am, in fact, covering something up. That leads me to another question from a viewer. This is from Red Dwarf 10,000, who says, "Happy holidays to you and your family." Thank you. Same to you. I think the most important question most of us want is, why did you really leave Ring of Fire? Were you asked to tone it down to protect them? I didn't want to have to say what I'm about to say. But I believe in honesty. I believe in openness. I believe in transparency. So, y'all want to know the reason? I will tell you the reason. Because of all the reasons I already told you. I know you guys are wanting drama. I know everybody loves drama. And it would be, not great for me, but it would have been more fun if there was some big dramatic moment where I got mad and said, "No, to hell with all of you, I'm out of here." Or if they got angry with me and had security toss me out of the building. It would have been funny, but none of that happened. I left on phenomenal terms with everybody at Ring of Fire. In fact, I was just up there the other day because it was officially my last day being employed there. Talked to Pap for a little bit. We're still good friends. I talked to Scott for like an hour. We're still good friends. Damien, I sat and chit-chatted with him, and we're all still in touch. I mean, I know it hasn't been long, but we're all still friends. And nothing bad happened. But I will tell you, there was a moment this year that actually made me make the decision to leave. So let me go a little bit more in depth because there are some things, with regard to me leaving there that I people may want to know, may not, I don't know. But here it is. My entire adult working life, since before I even started at Ring of Fire in August of 2004, my entire adult life, I've always had at least 2 jobs. 2. At one point, I had 4 jobs. And it was out of necessity. I needed to work that many jobs to be able to pay bills. And when I was younger, wasn't that big of a deal, right? Had energy, had time, didn't have obligations, didn't have a family, didn't have, mortgage. It was like, yeah, whatever. I'll work 8 hours over here, then go wait tables in the evening. And then as time went on, I wasn't waiting tables anymore, but I was doing Ring of Fire. I was writing for 2 separate blogs paid. I was doing the Trial Lawyer magazine, and I was also working part-time with my dad as an engineer. So I'm doing all of these things because I had to. And then once we got the Ring of Fire YouTube up and running, and that was successful, and then I started my own YouTube channel back in 2020, that compensated for all the other things. So at that point, I was able to ditch a lot of those other jobs because I didn't need them and I didn't have the time to do them anymore. And then over the years, the balance really shifted. And Farron Balance, this channel, became my primary source of income to the point where it was just dwarfing, everything else. And that allowed me to be in a position to where I could finally, at 42 years old, offload all of my other jobs. But that wasn't enough, right? Just because I could, I didn't want to. But then came the moment this year where I made the decision that, yes, this is what I need to do. And oddly enough, it was the death of Charlie Kirk. It was at that point that there's different things that I think every person will experience or has experienced that make you address your own mortality. That was it for me. That's what did it. And I realized that if something were to happen to me, am I going to look back, or, obviously can't look back, but you know what I mean? Like, am I going to be like, hey, well, at least I did all this great stuff that I wanted to do, and I spent so much time with my kids, or am I going to be like, damn, I wish I wasn't still working 12 hours a day. And that's what made me do it. See, I was working 8 hours a day for Ring of Fire, then doing Fair and Balanced. So I was working 12 hours a day. And I didn't want to do that anymore. At that point, I realized I need to finally go down to only having one job. I need to spend more time being home, not just physically, but mentally. Because I was here, but I wasn't here, if that makes any sense to people. And so it was at that, and my father's health is not good. I want to be there for my mom. If she needs anything, pick up slack, because he can't do much anymore. And those were decisions like that's where I want my life to be at this point. And so that's why I made that decision. That's why I left Ring of Fire. It wasn't because anybody there pissed me off. Nobody told me, do or do not do these things, and you need to. That never happened. That is a group of wonderful individuals who I will, hopefully be friends with forever. And I'm still going to be in touch with them. I've told them repeatedly, like, if you guys need anything, please let me know. There was no bad blood. There's no animosity. There was no blow up. There was no shutdown. There was no censorship. There was nothing. It was all personal things with me that I want to start addressing. And it's easier to do that if I finally only have the one job like I do now. Thanks for watching, and if you are not already subscribed to the channel, please do so, and do not forget to like and comment and share widely among your friends.